Since Pope Francis was elected Pope 10 years ago, he has canonized several people almost every year. Men and women, old and young people from different eras and social backgrounds. What most of them have in common, however, they all stood up for the poor, for those on the margins of society. This is fitting for a pontiff who sees himself as a pope for the periphery. On May 12, 2013, Pope Francis carried out his first canonizations. In addition to two Latin American religious sisters, Laura Montoya and Maria Guadalupe Garcia Zavala, the Holy Father also canonized Antonio Primalto and his 800 companions who were murdered in the Ottoman invasion of the Italian city of Otranto in 1480. Since then, about 100 other saints have been added. In 2014, Francis canonized two of his predecessors. One was John XXIII, who was elected Pope in 1958. During his 4.5-year pontificate, he convened the Second Vatican Council. In the presence of Pope Emeritus Benedict XVI, Pope Francis also canonized John Paul II, who led the Church into the new millennium. During his visit to the US in 2015, Francis canonized Junipero Serra Ferra in Washington, D.C. The Spanish Franciscan priest came to what is now California in 1749, founded mission stations, and spread the gospel in America.
St. Thomas said that the credible person embodies Jesus, because a credible person does what he says, and actions speak louder than words. A true witness is the one who speaks with his actions, without great announcements.
One woman whose deeds speak for themselves is Mother Teresa. The nun dedicated her life to the poorest of the poor in the slums of Calcutta. The Order of Missionaries of Charity, founded by her, continues Mother Teresa's work. As Archbishop of San Salvador, Oscar Romero demanded social justice and opposed the military dictatorship of the time. Romero was shot by a death squad in 1980 while preaching in church. Pope Francis canonized him in 2018. 1 year later, the Holy Father canonized John Henry Newman. Newman was a member of the Anglican Church of England. He converted to the Catholic Church despite much hostility. He died in 1890 and continues to influence generations of theologians today. Charles de Foucault also has a great impact up to the present day. He was shot dead in the Sahara on December 1st, 1916 by Bedouin marauders. Charles de Foucault, who had never founded a monastery himself, served as an inspiration to other founders of religious orders. He was canonized by Pope Francis in 2022. It is possible that Pope Francis will soon canonize a teenager as well. Carlo Acutis died of leukemia at the age of 15. A devout Catholic, he used the internet by the early 2000s. At the age of 11, he created a website with an online directory of Eucharistic miracles. Perhaps in the future the Church will also see the Holy Father canonize an entire family. On September 10th, 2023, Cardinal Semeraro will beatify the Ulma family on behalf of Pope Francis. The family had hidden 8 Jews during World War II, but were betrayed. The Nazis then killed not only the Jews, but also the Ulma family, including a still unborn child.
The Church, with this decision, shakes our consciences, reminding us of the sacredness of every human life that begins at the moment of conception and up to natural death. So, it's a great reconfirmation. It's a great hymn to the holiness and the dignity of every human life.
Whether man or woman, young or old, fearless martyr or silent servant of the Lord, Pope Francis reminds the Church that every person has the same vocation, the vocation to holiness. In Rome, Rudolf Gehrig, EWTN News in Depth.